E360 TV proudly presents Messages of Inspirational Stories TV show. Live streaming now to millions of devices around the world on Roku, Apple TV, Amazon Fire TV, Android TV, YouTube Live, Facebook live streaming. Our shows are available video on demand on these channels. And we broadcast daily, Monday through Friday at 4 p.m. Eastern Time on these channels. On Mondays, Expanding Your Business. Tuesdays, Natural Health and Wellness. On Wednesdays, we cover mentoring our youth. And on Thursdays, our new show, Ideas Worth Knowing. And on Fridays, Women in Leadership. To be able to watch our television show on your favorite device, please go to e360tv.com and download the app for your favorite device. Brought to you by our producers and hosts, Jim Grant and Donna Guinois. Along with our host, Beata Severin Reed and Emerson Brantley. Supported by our admin team of Michaela Vidal and Gaia Guinois Balconi Leda. And welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen. The Messages of Inspirational Stories is proudly brought to you by the good guys at the 6minutewebinar.com. The 6-minute webinar enables you to be able to communicate with your customer one specific thing. Because your customer, your client comes to you, they're looking to see if you can solve their problem, fulfill a need, or whatever it might be. They don't care about all the other things that you do or all the other things you offer. They just want to know if they're interested in losing weight and you have a weight loss program, that's all they want to hear from you is about how you can help them lose weight, okay? They don't care about all the other things that you do. That's boxed next to them. And, you know, so many times we've all been there. We click on something that's of interest, and the person goes on and on and on, and you're like, when is this person going to shut up? They go on like for 10 or 15 minutes about what the problem is. Well, you understood what the problem was, or you wouldn't be there curiously anyway, you know? The 6-minute webinar will give you an introduction, a body, a close, and a call to action, all within 6 minutes or less. We also want to give a shout out to our good friend, Mr. Bill Heinrich, the author of The 7 Levels of Truth, because we like to share this book, the information about this book a lot on the show, because we know how people are hurting out there. People are concerned about their wealth. People are concerned about their health. People are concerned about, are they going to, what does life hold for us? And in this book here, and we're going to be talking a little bit more about that today on the show. So if you're interested in health and wealth, you're in the right place. But this book, and I'm reading this I'm sharing this from the top cover back here. It says this book is for anyone seeking answers, solutions, and success in life. Your birthright. You have the right. You were born. It's your birthright to live a life that's full of abundance, it's full of love, it's full of peace, and it's full of joy. And Bill in his book here, he says the 7 levels of truth will allow you to achieve all of these results in life and much, much more. I've known Bill for many, many years. This is a personal copy that he gave me just as a friend. Little did he know I was going to share this with so many millions of people around the world. But this is what friends do. We're here to share great information with you, to help you to live the life that you have the birthright to live. And that birthright is health, wealth, happiness, love, jubilee. And I've got a guy who loves to jump up and down and sing. He's my co-host here on this show, Mr. Jeremy Stone. Jeremy, how you doing today, brother?
Hey, I'm doing fantastic, Jim. How are you today, buddy?
Oh, I'm doing real good. I'm doing real good. And for those folks that may not know you, I'm going to give you a moment here, about a minute or so, to introduce yourself. But let me put your your email address up there. Your email is jeremy@yourbizprofitscoach.com. And just share with the folks out there what you do to help other people in their hour of need.
Well, thanks, Jim. Always glad to be here. So I'm actually a consultant in business. I help people to build profitable companies, productive companies. I do that in a number of ways. I'm a leadership development expert, and I specialize in helping people to develop leadership within their companies, as well as building stronger team collaboration and communication. I'm an advanced behavioral analyst, so I go in and I analyze personality types and help companies to put the right people in the right positions. And then I help people to just have a dream of being an entrepreneur, helping them as well to build a business, whether it be from home or whether they want to build a brick and mortar business, but help to guide them through that as well, serving as an executive coach and doing that.
Absolutely. You were saying that. You know what popped into my mind?
What's that?
Back in the 80s, late 70s, early 80s, Bill Walsh was hired by the San Francisco 49ers to be their head coach. One of the things he did, and I'm just going straight off of 40 years of memory here, so it's going to be real cloudy and a little foggy, but one of the things he did was evaluate the camaraderie of the personnel on the team. He was one of the first ones, I think, that actually came up with that. All the other coaches were interested in, if you're strong as a bull, we'll put you on the front line. If you're fast as a deer, we'll make you a running back. If you can jump and run and dodge, we'll make you a wide receiver. But Bill went a step further, and I wish I could explain it in better detail than I am, because it's just a thought that came to me, but he evaluated their mental ability as a team player. He just evaluated them to see how they would fit in. And those, regardless of their talent, if they were not a fit, he just got rid of them or traded them. And we've all seen players, pro players from, they're a super player with this team and they get traded or they sign as a free agent with another team and they never live up to their expectations. And it has nothing to do with their physical ability. It has everything to do with their ability to fit into the system, so to speak. Now, Bill Walsh was one of the first ones that came up with that. So when you were talking about what you did there, that came to mind. I wanted to share that with everyone. And your website is yourbizprofitscoach.com. Is that correct?
Absolutely. Yep.
Yeah. So you can get in touch with Jeremy there, and we're going to be talking about some health and wealth. Everybody out there in TV land, we'll get a whole bunch of static here, but raise your hand if you're interested in health and wealth. I mean, just raise your hand. Because Jeremy and I, the way we got introduced to each other was because of specific health problems we had. And Jeremy, as people out there in TV land that follow the show, they know what my case was. I had a heart attack, open heart surgery and all that. But I went online because I could not take the statins, and I was researching cardiologists to see if it was a natural cure out there. And the answer was YES, yes. I needed good vitamins and good minerals. But then I ran into a problem. And Jeremy, I haven't shared this with Jeremy. We haven't talked about it that much, but I'm just going to ask Jeremy off the top of his head. Guess what that problem was, or the thing that made me go, Would you like to take a guess at it?
Well, I guess the problem is that you wouldn't know where to get good quality vitamins and minerals.
Amen. Because I had read something, and the cardiologist warned us that a lot of these products you got to be aware of, because they didn't promote any. They says do your homework, buy from a reputable source. Well, what's a reputable source? Someone that advertises more than the next person? I didn't know. But what they said, most vitamin companies that are in the business of selling vitamins, most of them get their vitamins from the same source. And then, I never really thought about that. And then, whatever's in those vitamins, or whatever's in any product for that matter, regardless of what they say, they can have preservatives in there, they can have harmful stuff in there, whatever, because there are chemicals in products that you should not consume as a human, or as a human being. And they can order that product under a private label, and they can say all natural, no preservatives added or anything like that, and they can do that legally because they didn't do anything to the product. They just had it put in a different container, put their label on it. Here it is.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Jim, you and I could both today go to the same company and at separate times, and we could go and create our own brand, and they'll slap our sticker on the same supplements, and somebody can go, we can open up an online store for people to order their superior vitamins and minerals, and they can get Jim's vitamins and they can get Jeremy's vitamins, and they're getting the same exact product. And we could charge different prices.
Oh yeah,
we could do all that. I guess I say that because you really just don't know who's making your vitamins. You don't know, where they're coming from. I can call them, America's best. You can call them Texas's greatest vitamins and minerals, and create some kind of marketing slogan, right? Yeah. And make people believe that they're the best thing out there, but they're the same exact product.
Yeah, and you know which one will sell best, folks? The one that has the best advertising and the one that has the best eye appeal to the public. That's the one that sells it. And that's what they're banking on. And because the one cardiologist, in fact, there was two, because I listened to several of them at different times, looking at studies and on that about the heart, what can I do to help improve it, since I could not take these statins due to the side effects and the way it made me feel. They talked about, the different labeling and brand of vitamins. And they says, if you email us or if you contact us, we will share with you some of the brands that we have found that are reputable. We're not saying you got to get them here. We don't represent them. We're just sharing information. And I appreciated that. But then I did my study, and that Heart Health Pack that this wonderful company has got, not only did they have all of the vitamins and all of the minerals, but this company here, they're not only up here in quality, they're also up here in wealth. And Jeremy, share with the folks out there, you're familiar with the product that I take, the type of quality overall that this company puts into their products.
Well, I think it's amazing that the quality is it's 95% absorbable compared to 5 to 10% of most other vitamin and mineral supplements out there. Which what does that mean, absorbable? Well, what that means is that you can have two different vitamins and minerals. Let's say that you get 500 milligrams of a particular vitamin. Let's just say vitamin C is an example. So you have two different products that say that you get 500 milligrams. One of them is $5, the other one's $15. So as a consumer, we think, well, shoot, I'm getting the same vitamin. I'm going to pay $5 for the 500 milligrams of vitamin C. The problem is that because of the way that these vitamins are manufactured, they're not absorbable in the body. So even though there's 500 milligrams of vitamin C in that particular capsule, you may only be absorbing 5 to 10% of that, so maybe 50 milligrams of it. And so there's a huge difference. The amount in there isn't necessarily absorbability. So basically what happens is you end up taking these supplements and you end up, eliminating the majority of your dollars, what you're paying for, out of your body without having any beneficial effect to your body. The way they're manufactured, they get deteriorated in the stomach acid instead of being absorbed in the intestines like the body's created. It doesn't travel down. So it's just a big difference. People just think that I look at how many milligrams of each thing. This one has more of this and more of that. I'm going to buy that one, but you're not getting that much.
You're exactly right. And you know, another thing about this company here that I really like that make the Heart Health Pack. And if by chance you'd like to know more about what we're talking about, you can email Jeremy at yourbizprofitscoach.com. He'll share information with you. He'll give you the information, no obligation. Go take a look at it, examine it, compare apples to apples. Because in that Heart Health Pack, what really sold me, they did 4 independent studies. And these independent studies proved, we're not talking about someone like John C. from Tupelo, Mississippi, or Mary M. from Chicago, Illinois, giving a testimony, because that doesn't have any value. But the independent studies who are just going to report what they found, oh my goodness. Those studies revealed exactly what my blood work did last week when I took my blood test. And getting ready to meet my cardiologist tomorrow. My my levels have come down. And I mean, you know, when you have a heart disease, when my LDL is at 60, 60. I think I sent you a copy of that, didn't I?
I don't recall getting that. No.
Oh, okay. I'll send that to you.
Yeah.
Because one of the things I got to ask him about was my triglycerides. My triglycerides 2 years before my heart attack was at 123. And then it dipped way down to 61. And this is the day after I had my heart attack. I was in the hospital. I'm going like, why did it fall that much? Because I hadn't done anything that drastic, because all the other numbers were, you know, pretty even. Except bad cholesterol was at 76, and in the hospital it was at 96 after I had my heart attack, and now it's at 60.
Wow.
Yeah, so I'm heading the right direction. But the triglycerides dipped down to 61 when I was in the hospital. I think it's because I had an IV in one arm and blood thinner in the others. That might have played something on it. I got no idea. But I had it tested again, and it's up to 120. So it went from 123, dipped down to 61, back up to 120. Wow. But the overall, the good cholesterol, it was at 40, and now it's at 60.
Wow.
And so that means I'm doing something right. And that's what you do. When you're doing something like that, you want to stay with the proven test. And that's what I love about this company. My goodness gracious, if there's a question about anything that a person takes, whether or not it's any good for them, they put it to the test. Oh.
Yeah,
that's
I
something.
think it's fantastic.
Yeah, that's something that the big, and I'm not going to say what the cardiologist said about some of the big stores, but they said they're only interested in one thing: profit over people.
Well, I think it's important. You know, one of the distinctions that you make there, Jim, is that there's clinical studies that show the effectiveness, right? And so that's something that, you know, the supplements that you and I are both associated with, that we help people with, you know, that they have these clinical studies. So it's not just some people saying that I feel like I felt better. Here's a prime example: the heart health pack that you're talking about. You know, after clinical studies, a 12-month study, so over a year, they studied these people taking it. There was a 198.8% increase in nitric oxide in the blood levels, right? Well, what is nitric oxide? Why is that important? Well, because the nitric oxide in your blood is indicative of your heart health, the vessel health. And so what it does is it helps to dilate your blood vessels, to reduce your blood pressure, to reduce the pressure on your entire system in there, to help to reduce, you know, heart attacks and strokes and that kind of thing. But that's 198.8% increase in the nitric oxide levels. I mean, this is just scientific, factual numbers that were done in the study, you know. And so I think that it's important that when we look at what we're taking and comparing apples to apples, that you look to see if there's clinical studies to show the effectiveness. You know, if you're going to invest the money in your nutritional supplements, you want them to be effective rather than you just eliminating them out of your body, you know, and not ever absorbing them into your system.
Oh, yeah, you're exactly right. I just sent you the copy there on your phone. I'm going to hold this up. I don't know how well that's going to show or not. Jeremy, let me know if that's readable or not. You can see the dates.
Yep, I see it.
You can see the dates. Now, that bottom figure, that's the triglycerides. From the top, that's the total cholesterol.
All right.
The second one is the HDL. That's the good cholesterol. And the third one down there, you can see the 76, 96, and now 60. That's the LDL. That's the bad cholesterol. So that's what you can see the dates there. You can see what see. There's an old saying, folks: liars figure, but figures don't lie.
Yeah, that's really, really good. You're obviously on the right track, and the thing is that's going to benefit your overall health, right? We're just looking at your cholesterol, right? And this is just one thing that we know that we've been able to help people with, But again, that heart pack that you're on, the studies showed over 12 months a 15.2% reduction average, in LDL, which is the bad cholesterol,
Yeah.
And so we know that it has a huge effect. And then, afterwards, that's just the one study, but they also did a deprivation study. So after they did this, they took some of those people and they deprived them of our nutritional supplements. They took them away from them, didn't let them take it. And you know what happened, Jim?
Yeah, but go ahead and share it with the folks. I know what you're going to say. Yeah,
all their numbers went back up, and many of them higher than what they were before when they first started. The thing. So it proves without a doubt scientifically that it was the supplementation with these products that created all of the beneficial changes in their bodies. Because once we took those supplements away, that was the only change. They went back to where they were before or worse.
And you know what's amazing about this company? They are a membership club. They're very similar to Costco and Sam's Club, aren't they, as far as the way they operate? Except there's two major differences. Number one, an individual or a couple or someone living in an apartment, they don't have the capacity, and most people don't have the money in their wallet or on their credit card to buy in bulk to save money. And I heard a financial advisor talking about buying in bulk to save money really doesn't save you any money. It really doesn't, because you're tying up all your money for, months' use. And he says it doesn't save you money, especially if you tie it up on a credit card.
Right.
And they allow you to buy whatever it is that you want. And I talked to a gentleman yesterday who's been a member for about 25 years, and 82% of the people who who are members, they just shop and save. That's it. They're happy with that. Nothing wrong with that. But for people out there who are worried about their health, not only their physical health, but their financial health, you need to talk to Jeremy and me. And I mean that as sincerely, openly, and honestly as I can, because we are helping people not only get more healthy. I mean, you take someone's had a heart attack. I mean, you think they'd like to see numbers like that without taking prescription drugs? Yeah, I mean,
I would love it.
And Jeremy, you too, you had a journey, didn't you?
Oh, absolutely.
Share with us, please.
We've talked about, heart health, but, I had diabetes for a long time, since 2012, and struggled with it. Lots and lots of medications. I was on 6 different medications and really didn't have a whole lot of luck in getting control of it. But as soon as I began taking our supplements, our nutritional products and whatnot, I was able to get off my medications. And I just had my blood test here last week. My follow-up blood test that I get every time, kind of like you do. And I literally, my A1C was at a 5.6, which is in the normal person, no diabetic range, gone from a 12.2 to a 5.6, which is huge. So I went from an average blood sugar, to give you an idea what A1C means. That means your average blood sugar over 90 days. That's what that measures. So what it does is that it takes the glucose out of your hemoglobin and everything, and it calculates. The scientific thing says your average blood sugar for 90 days is this, right? And so at a 12.2, that means it's like 340 glucose average for 90 days. With my new one, it's 114. So that's my average, and I'm well below diabetic levels So it's amazing. And, not just that, but, I was just talking with one of our teammates this morning, 79 years old. She has Parkinson's. She's been with us for about 4 weeks now. She wasn't able to get out of bed before, didn't have any energy. She had bad shakes with her Parkinson's. And now she has brought so many people to our team and is introducing them. And that's why we are on a call this morning. She wanted to introduce somebody else because they're noticing the difference in her. And she said today, again, she said she was able to get up out of bed with no pain today, that her shakes are almost gone. People are noticing it, asking her, well, what's happening? Because her Parkinson's was so bad before that she constantly shook. And she's walking straight now when she couldn't hardly walk before. And she is so excited, 79 years old, and just is telling everybody all about it.
That's really amazing because when someone can do that at age 79, think about how excited they would be. And really, what it comes down to is that, like this TV show, we're not a sales pitcher. We don't do that. But we get excited because you saw the numbers on my blood work. Why wouldn't I be excited?
Yeah.
I mean, if I could help someone else that's worried about their heart, my goodness gracious, and help them get on a good vitamin and mineral supplement formula that is clinically proven. And when something's clinically proven, you know that you know that you know that you know it's good stuff. Yeah. And then I've always teased about finding a product that can make me young and good looking and make me smarter and all that. They actually have a product there for brain health.
Yeah.
They do, yeah. And that, I haven't really tried it or anything. I don't know if you have or not, but I'm going to one of these days. Well, I say one of these days if I remember. Like I need brain.
Well, I actually do because I take the total health version, and so it has the heart health, the brain health, the eye health, it has the bone health. So I take the total health one because I just want to hit all my body systems. I know that our bodies suffer so much abuse from free radicals, toxins, all of that kind of stuff, plus just the normal aging process, that I want to be able to slow that down and affect all my body systems.
So you take the what's called the total health?
I do. Yeah.
Wow. It's got all that stuff in there, huh?
Yeah, it has every body system in there. Yep.
I got to take a look at that because if it'll make me young, good looking, smart, and keep my heart and firing on all eight cylinders, I'm going to be happy. But really, go ahead.
I was going to say, you mentioned age, and really what it is that causes us to age. All of us are going to get older, right? But what causes our bodies to age is free radicals. And so the free radicals are what give us the wrinkles and cause our skin to age and everything like that. And here's the amazing thing, that with our supplements, the clinical studies have shown over and over in all the studies that we drastically reduce the free radicals in our body. In fact, with the Heart Health Pack, there was a 73.2% reduction in the mitochondrial free radicals, which mitochondrial, of course, has to deal with your cellular structure, right? And so we are helping you to not only be healthier, but to age better, right? To age slower.
Well, if you're reducing the radicals, you're going to be also slowing down the aging process, but also too, you're going to be doing some repair on some of the damage that those radicals have done. And I'm just talking in layman terms here. Because if you give the right kind of nutrition in there, the right kind of vitamins, the right kind of food, let me put it like that your body and your cells need, and you've eliminated the radicals, well, then it can do some repair work. It really can.
And that's the thing. Yeah, and we've mentioned a few different chronic diseases, but the fact is that about 70% of the people that die every year die of some kind of chronic disease. And so if we can help people to live well, right? We can help to reduce that chronic disease. We can help to reduce the amount of deaths each year, help people to live longer, help them to live healthier. Because I mean, let's face it, what's the sense of living a long life if you're miserable, right? Let's help people to live a healthier life. I think it's an amazing thing. I think that's why you and I are both so passionate about helping people in this area.
Oh yeah, because we've been there, we've done that, and you suffered from something else. Is it neuropathy that you suffered from? Is that what it's called?
Yep, neuropathy, and that was a side effect of the diabetes, the damage to the nerve endings. Yeah, it was it's very very painful. It's one of the worst pains out there because literally it's your nerve endings, and it feels like they're on fire. And so yeah, I mean it was very very crucial. And the doctors, and even if you Google it, it says it's irreversible. You can slow down the damage, but you can't reverse the damage. But the fact is that I've been able to stop the pain in my feet and, without the pain medication anymore. So it's, when we begin to address the root causes, right? I mean, usually what we do is we address the symptoms, right? We get a headache. What do? We take an acetaminophen, a Tylenol, or an ibuprofen, right? Well, was your body deficient in Tylenol? No. There's something else that caused the headache. It was either, hydration or a lack of oxygen or, something you need to take deeper breaths, you need to drink more water or whatnot. But instead, what we do is we treat the symptom, which is the pain. We throw some ibuprofen at it, and we've never really addressed the issue that maybe you're just not drinking enough water. So I think that, with the wellness, what we're talking about is let's address the root causes of the issues so that we're able to actually enjoy better health.
Yeah, you're exactly right because, even sometimes when you're sitting around, you think, man, I need a little snack. I'm a little hungry. Really what it is, most of the time, your body is thirsty. But our mind, the way it works, especially my mind, it wants me to grab a Snickers, and a Snickers is not good for me. I used to love Snickers, but, candy bar. And I still do. They're, ever since I was a kid, I was a Snicker fool, you might say. But many times, and this is a lot of problems with people when they're concerned about their weight, they have these cravings. I forget who said it, but I heard it said one time, drown the cravings, flood it with water. And you can put lemon in your water. You can put anything in your water because a lot of people say, well, I like water, but I can't drink that much. Make it flavorful. And this company here, they have things for that too. I mean, what have they not thought of? That's what I'm trying to figure out when it comes to your health because they got
absolutely.
that. Yeah. And here's something too, folks. This is the icing on the cake. In addition to having great products, that has a proven track record when it comes to your health from independent studies that they can wallpaper their office with. If Costco or Sam's Club had these products and you were able to share with a friend, hey, you need to be sure and order this particular product from Costco or Sam's Club, and we're not affiliated with either company. Both of them are great companies. But if you did that, the person who you helped would be very, very grateful. With this company here, if you do that, they want to make sure you're rewarded. And that is one major step that we're doing right now to help some people who have got more month than they got money. Because a lot of people are concerned about their health. A lot of people are concerned about their financial health, especially in today's economy. And where do they turn to? Jeremy, my attitude is turn to a trusted source, people that you know, people that, can help you. Not only are people going to, last week I think we covered household cleaners. Everybody's going to buy toilet bowl cleaners and toothpaste and whatever every month. So why not buy from a reliable source that has good quality products, the best quality you can find anywhere, with no side effects, no toxins or any of that stuff. Because Jeremy, when you wash your clothes, those chemicals and toxins that are in modern day detergents that you buy anywhere, when the clothes rinse, all of those toxins and chemicals go right down the drain back into our environment.
Yeah, absolutely. They're very environmentally not friendly. But they also have toxic residues that affect, our bodies. Liquid fabric softener that we use in our laundry actually makes your clothes more flammable. So, there's actually
Yeah.
warnings not to use them
Yeah.
on flame retardant clothing that for like infants and stuff, because a lot of
Oh,
infant
yeah.
clothing has flame retardants in there. So it'll actually reduce the flame retardants in there. A lot of times, just switching if you have like skin issues or whatnot, just switching your soap, it's an allergy issue. People don't realize that
Yeah.
switching the laundry soaps that you use will help to clear that up a lot of times. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's just a lot of chemicals.
Yeah. I remember, I don't remember what it was. My wife bought a product. This was back in the 70s. And I guess it was the product. She was washing clothes with it. But man, I'd put on a t-shirt or something like that and go out and switch, and I'd start itching. And I thought, what in the world is going on here? And she says, I don't know. She said, maybe it's something in that new detergent they had on sale that I tried. And I said, well, get rid of it and go back to the oven. This is driving me crazy. Because it actually did. It made me itch. And when you're working and you're sweating and you're trying to get a job done, the last thing you want to do is start, doing your impersonation of an ape out there, I mean, because it was just driving me crazy. But yes, what you say there is very, very true. Some of the chemicals in there that don't get rinsed out good and go back into the drain, down the drain, and back into the water supplies, if it stays in clothing, it can create irritation for you. It really can.
Well, yeah, and then think about this like this too. And again, it's a full cycle, right? So we release these chemicals into our water systems down the drain. It goes into where? It goes to the soil, right?
Yeah.
Or it goes out to the our waterways or something. But let's just say it goes out to the soil. So
Right.
it gets into the soil. Okay, where do our vegetables in our fields and stuff grow? They grow in the soil, right? What do our cows and hogs and the other types of meat that we eat? What do they eat? They eat the plants that grow in that soil. So
Yeah.
we're taking these chemicals and we're putting them right back into our food systems. And so we're not only are we polluting the environment, not only are we bringing these toxins into our homes that are irritants to our body systems, the hormonal disruptors and everything, which causes a whole lot of health issues. But then we're putting them right back out into our food system because they're going in the soil, getting into our plants. Our plants absorb the water and stuff, everything that's in there. So we're increasing our toxicity.
We certainly are. And I've heard people say, well, I only shop here because I'll only eat and buy organics, organic food and stuff like that. And, when it comes to vegetation, I asked them an honest question. I asked a guy this one time, and he was an organic grower. He grew produce, and he's very proud that everything he uses is organic. And I asked him a valid question, and he could not answer it. And I think he got a little upset at me because we were on the show, not the TV show, but the radio show. And I said, let me ask you a question. I says, of the acid rain that everybody's concerned with, we've seen it put spots on our cars, when it falls on your crops, on your fields, how do you handle that? Because it's going to get absorbed into the soil. It's going to get picked up by the roots into the plant and into the plants that we eat. And there's no filtering system there that I know of. I said, how do you deal with that? And he did not appreciate my question.
Well, you're right. And
He didn't have an answer.
while there's no way for us to 100% reduce all toxicity in our lives, we just can't do it, right?
No.
But what we can do is we can make better, educated, informed decisions about reducing the amount of free radicals, the amount of toxicity in our lives, and then supplementing with quality supplements that further reduce the free radicals in our body so that we can live with the least amount possible in our bodies, right? We can't get rid of it 100%. It's just not possible. But we know that this stuff transfers, right? And I actually took a class this morning on this topic, and it was just really, really interesting because we've talked before on the show. I've shared about the cord blood test where we found nearly 300 different toxins in the cord blood of newborn babies, right? But what I learned today was that there's been further studies to show that the toxicity that you pass on, say whether it's lead or whatnot, from the mom to the infant carries on for 4 generations, right? And so they've actually done studies on mice and rats, and they've taken identical twins and exposed one to toxins and the other one not, and they watched the changes. It increased obesity in the one mouse, and it changed the hair color, the same symptoms and signs we see of like hypothyroidism and stuff. It thinned their hair, it changed the color of it, and it made them obese, right? Well, then they took that and it passed on to the next child of that rat, right? And that rat's child was not introduced to these toxins, but it carries forth in the genetic things of the children. And there was another one. They showed that the mom, tried to figure out what was going on with her. They tested her; she had high lead. She grew up in a time when there was lead in paint and everything like that. She had high lead in her system. Well, their son, who was a small child, didn't grow up in lead or whatnot. But when they went to go test him, because he was having health issues, he had high levels of lead as well, indicating that it was possibly passed from the mom to the child in there as well.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it makes perfect sense because the genes and everything, they're, that's how they trace DNA and everything else. They can find a close family member and locate who the person was. They really can. You see that on criminal shows a lot, if you follow that particular genre. But, what I really, really, really like about what I've heard you say here is that we can't get rid of everything we're exposed to anymore. We can get rid of the common cold or stubbing your toe from being stupid. I mean, I'm talking about me, myself now, personally.
Yeah.
But we can definitely reduce the radicals, and we can also repair some of the damage those radicals have done, and at least keep the radicals on the run, because that's right. In radicals in life, you need to keep the radicals on the run, right? If you had radicals around your house that were not related, kids are excluded, but if you had some radicals around your house, you'd want to get rid of them, wouldn't you?
We'd chase them off, right?
There you go. Yeah. And, it just, it's really a pleasure and an honor for us to be able to share information, because we share information with folks because do your research yourself. We share what you can look at, where you can go. This is what the studies have done. Do the research yourself. And the thing about it, you can buy the stuff if you want to try it. And if you don't think it did any good, guess what you can do? You can return it, right?
Yeah.
For a full refund, no questions asked. Man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And so there's no risk. There's no risk, but the benefits are certainly great. I know it's made a huge difference in my life. It's made a huge difference in your life. It's made a huge difference in my wife's life, in my father-in-law, everybody that I know. It made a huge difference in that team member that I was talking about this morning, Priscilla.
Her bless her heart.
It's made another gentleman that I helped here 2 weeks ago had diabetes and neuropathy, and he's in his late 70s, early 80s, and now he's saying the same thing. He actually left his cane at home the other day for the first time in a long time. He's beginning to. He had to recently, before he met us, he had to quit his job because the neuropathy in his feet was so bad he couldn't feel his feet anymore, so he couldn't be on his feet. And now he says that he's starting to feel his feet again and his legs again. And one of the things that just made me tear up, a couple of weeks ago, and he just said three words now. He said, since I've joined a week ago, and this was a couple of weeks ago, he'd only been with us for a week and a half. He said, I have hope. I have hope. That was it. And those 3 words just made the biggest difference. And it brought tears to my eye because it made me think this is why I share. And this is why we are so passionate about helping people, because he didn't, if he's saying that now he has hope, the reverse of that means that before he didn't have hope, right? So we are able to change the life of this man and many others and take him from a place where he didn't have hope before and he does now. And it was amazing because he learned about us because of my 79-year-old Priscilla, right? Who was seeing the changes in her life, and he saw it, and he's like, "What are you doing?" And so she brought Fred to me,
Yeah.
and we got Fred going, and now he's doing the same thing because it's just a miracle when you get good. People don't understand, that because we're taught to think that we have to keep medicating and that there's no hope for these chronic conditions,
Oh, yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But if we can address the root issues, the root causes, the nutritional things, the cellular inflammation, if we can address those things, it's amazing how you can see such a big reverse in your life.
It really is, because a lot of times, there's an old saying in life, and that saying is sometimes where you stand depends on where you were forced to sit. And after I came home from my open heart surgery, had it glued shut and all that, and they sent me home with pain pills and all kind of stuff. Fortunately, I didn't need any pain medication, but the medication it had me on, it was waking me up every hour to an hour and a half consistently. Every hour to hour and a half. I didn't sleep 3 or 4 hours uninterrupted because I had to get up and go to the restroom to drain my bladder. And I knew this thing was, that medication was overworking my kidneys. And when you get woken up every hour to an hour and a half, you're not going to get a good night's rest.
No.
And so therefore I said, I got to find something different because I can't live like this. And it's like Jeremy when he had his, the issues with diabetes and neuropathy. I got to find a better answer. If it's out there, I'm going to find it. And we're here to help you find that better answer. You may be 29 years of age. You may have never had any pain in your life, so maybe a toothache or a stump toe or something like that. But think about a call to action to where you could help others improve their health that don't know where to turn to. I had to go through hours and hours and hours of researching studies, what cardiologists said, and to be able to find, and then I had to go out and find the right quality that I needed in vitamins and minerals. And all you got to do now, save you a bunch of time, is get in touch with Jeremy at Jeremy at yourbizprofitscoach.com, just like it says there on the marquee. Just say, hey, tell me more.
Yeah.
He will provide the information to you. Boom, chicky boom, chicky boom. You can sit down in the privacy of your own home, look at it,
Yeah.
and
Hey,
see if it makes sense to you.
Jim, that's we've been talking to or about those people that maybe have chronic health issues, but let's take a minute to just talk to those who are maybe thinking, well, I'm healthy. I don't need this. It's not.
Yeah. The only
really
problem
important.
the only problem I've got is chronic is more a month than I got money.
Yeah, right. I mean, there's probably some people in the audience going, well, this doesn't really apply to me, and I just want to say it absolutely does apply to you.
Yes,
Because,
it does.
just because maybe your blood tests come back normal for cholesterol and stuff like that doesn't mean that you're necessarily healthy. We're
proved
seeing,
that.
we're seeing an increase of even young people, right? Sports people who are having heart attacks and are unfortunately dropping dead while playing or
Yeah.
any of those issues, right? So what if we want to age well, we want to continue to live healthy.
You got to
right?
start now.
If we want to try to reduce the chances of, say, cancer or other chronic illnesses, then it's important that they're working to address the cellular issues and reduce the free radicals in our body now, and make sure that our cells are getting the proper nutrition. So just because maybe you don't suffer with heart disease or suffer with diabetes or Parkinson's or anything like that, doesn't mean that good quality nutritional supplementation isn't important for you.
Oh, yeah, you're absolutely right. Because, like I just showed you earlier on those numbers from 2019, all of my numbers were good. They really were. I mean, and according to the doctors, I was good to go. I didn't have any problems. I mean, in 2019, my overall cholesterol was 156. My HDL, the good cholesterol, was at 55. The bad cholesterol was 76. My triglycerides was 123.
Yeah.
Your triglycerides maybe getting borderline high, but other than that, you're doing good.
Your blood
And
pressure was good?
Yes, 120 something over 68 to 74. But what happened was after I had my heart attack, they told me all I needed was stents. I had to go in for stents, and that's when the cardiologist told me, he says, stents will not work for you. You have an hereditary condition known as the widowmaker. That's a silent killer. That's the one where people are walking down the street, 40 years of age, great health, and all of a sudden, bam, they drop dead of a heart attack. That's usually compliments of the widowmaker. So what Jeremy was talking about there, just because you're young, just because your tests make you say, hey, you're looking great, don't change a thing, that is not necessarily a ticket that'll give you to ride down the pathway of life. I can guarantee you that one, because they had to do stents. I had to be in there for stents where they found out that and it was the only way they could detect I had the widowmaker with 90% blockage. And I had to have surgery that day. That's how serious it was. But here's another thing too. Think about this. You may be sitting there as a young person thinking, I don't need to listen to this old guy here on the left, this young guy on the right there, the old guy in the
am
yellow
I on
shirt.
the left or am I on the right?
Well, I'm the old guy that's in the yellow
I
shirt,
just want to make sure.
the one that's talking right now. But what do you say to the fact that there was a purpose and a reason why you heard this show? For you to make a decision for, I don't need that? Or did a higher source, some people call it karma, put you in a position to say, hey, you can be used to be a blessing to others? Down your pathway of life, you're going to run into people. It might be a family member, maybe your mom. Maybe next week she goes, or your dad may go to the doctor next week, and then the tests come back and they got a serious health issue. Then you know where to go to. Then you know where to turn to. Don't blow this off, because, ladies and gentlemen, life is not about you. So many times we think that, but it's not. It's about how you can be a blessing to others.
Yeah.
That's how you live a successful life. That's how you can live a comfortable life. And the money, that's the icing on the cake. It comes at the end, not the beginning. It's at the end. It's just like when you make a sale. If you sell a product, you get your money after you made the sale. You don't get your money up, well, unless it's prepaid or something, but you still had to make a sale. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
We change the world one person at a time. Right?
Yes.
And
yes.
that's it. If I hadn't shared it with one person, who then shared it with Priscilla, who then shared it with Fred, who then shared, right? It's a compounding effect. That's how we change the world, one person at a time. But if I hadn't had the courage to share it with, one person first, then she would have never shared it with Priscilla, the 79-year-old who's now, getting relief from Parkinson's and pain and everything like that. And she wouldn't have shared it with Fred, who's now is being able to walk sometimes without his cane and be able to feel his feet again, right?
Oh, yeah.
It took the step of me sharing it with one person, who shared it with another, who shared it with another. And that's how we changed the world, Jim.
You better believe it. And you know what? Not a one of those in the process shared about putting money in your pocket.
Yeah.
It was all about improving your health.
Yep.
And when they see the proof in the pudding, like Jeremy saw the proof in the pudding, you saw my numbers, the proof's in the pudding there. I mean, this is not hard. This is why we're here. This is the calling that we have. And please, don't take that calling lightly, because there was a reason why this TV show landed in front of you. Think about that. With all the shows out there, I don't know how many millions of shows are out there. Maybe it's into billions. I don't know. But guess what? Right now, you were chosen to be front and center with us.
Yeah.
Don't take that lightly. Oh, Jeremy, we're out of time, my man. We're going to have to be back. We got to do this again next week. What do you say?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. We're going to talk about how to paint one toenail red, one toenail pink, the other one silver. That is for you guys, girls out there. Almost said guys.
I would say Jim's going to demonstrate.
Oh, yeah. Well, actually, I've only got, never mind. Yeah, my retarded military brothers will say, "What's he up to now?" You know. But we're going to be back next week. We're going to be talking some more about health and wellness things, and we just touch on some things today that's really near and dear to our heart. And you know, when it comes to your heart health, I mean that's very, very critical. When it comes to like Jeremy being able to get off of, get his diabetes under control and be not having to suffer from neuropathy. That's what brought us together.
Mhm.
A common goal of seeking and improving our health. And think how, and for those people who help others, improve their health, not in this company or who we're associated with, but they make a lot of money. They really, truly do. Look at the health industry. It's one of the most, man. And you don't even have to go to medical school. All you got to do here is just go to people school. That's it.
Yeah.
From the heart, from one heart to another. And ladies and gentlemen, our time is gone. We got to get out of here. And Jeremy, thank you so much for being with us. I really love the information and the wisdom that you share, the things. My goodness gracious.
Thank you, Jim.
You're quite welcome. And again, in closing, be sure and get in touch with, send Jeremy an email and let him know what you thought of him and, what the information he shared, I should say. You can tell I'm getting a little bit of hurry to close up the show because I got an important date I got to go on, and I'm looking forward to it. But sincerely, on behalf of Jeremy and me, we sincerely hope and pray that you and your loved ones are healthy, happy, and blessed in all areas of your life. And most importantly, love yourself first. Then you can love others. And share the good news. Be a light to someone's darkness out there. No matter what information it is you can share with them, please do so. You'll be glad you did. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Thanks, Jeremy.